The last time we spoke, I told you that this wasn't about you. It's not about getting a flat tummy or the cellulite-free bum. Those are the great byproducts. But what's more important are the moments you'll gain through this process when you do it right. When you do it the FitMum way.
Yeah, the FitMum way is a little different to how you've probably done it in the past. While you've probably tried to improve your habits before and you've intended on changing your family's eating habits, there's a high chance you've gone about that change the wrong way. Most mamas will dive into a change, overhaul if you will. This isn't your fault, but it is your responsibility to become aware of it. Most diets are set up in a challenge format where time is short and there's a rush to get everything as perfect as you can as quickly as possible.
And it's no wonder you get resistance at home and from your family and friends when you make this sudden change. If you're determined, you might keep treats in the house and tell yourself that you're not allowed them. Go to social events and tell everybody that you're on a diet. Cook separate meals for yourself and the rest of the family. You tell yourself that you have the willpower to keep this up, but you eventually start to stray. And at this point, whether you realize it or not, you've actually isolated yourself. You've told yourself your goals are important to you, but your family shouldn't have to suffer. My question to you is though, if these diets were meant to make you the best possible version of yourself, why wouldn't you want to share that with your family? That would be important enough for me to fight for.
Truth is, deep down you know these quick fixes aren't good for you. You're taking a shortcut, making trade-offs, and punishing yourself because you have a poor relationship with food and your body.
Let me make it clear, you're sending the wrong message. Your girls will see this and talk to their friends about how you're on a diet again. Your boys will see this and they will too start to develop a poor body image. Your girls and boys will grow up seeing this as normal adult behavior and play those stories out when they're older.
And within you, your body will begin an internal fight against itself, against what you're doing to it. Depending on how hard you diet or what you replace your meals with, your body will start to take nutrients from itself to make up for the lack of it in your diet. From your bones and your muscles, you'll get weaker, you'll feel heavier, and eventually you'll lose your appetite. At this stage, repairing your metabolism gets really hard because your last defense, your hormones, are in overdrive and they're trying the best they can to keep functioning normally, but they're failing.
Your moods will change. Fatigue sets in and you question, is this really worth it? Of course it isn't. You've just gone from one version of unhealthy to another. This is what happens when you overhaul. When you restrict or cut any kind of food from your diet. But when you do it the FitMum way, you don't overhaul. You don't restrict, you make more choices available instead. You involve your children in the process. You have them make decisions and be a part of the experience. You lead them by examples through your own continued actions. So rather than breaking your body down, you are actually building your body up. When you start from this place, you're doing much more than trying to get yourself into shape. You are teaching your kids the basic life skill of feeding yourself and maintaining health. You are repairing your relationship with food and giving them healthy expectations of themselves in adulthood.
Starting off on the right foot is understanding that this is a marathon, not a sprint. Consistency over time will always be intermittent perfection. There's no point being perfect for 6 weeks when you can't keep it up for the next 6 months. Action is important not only when you're motivated, but when you're not motivated. It's more important when you can't see the immediate physical reward.
When you're tired and stressed and all you want to do is drown your sorrows in a bottle of wine or eat your worries away in the cupboard when the kids are finally in bed at the end of the night, consistency with making good decisions is every mama's biggest hurdle, and every mama will need to overcome this if building a fit mum body is what they really want. Mama, if demonstrating a healthy mindset and way of life to your children is important to you, getting off the all or nothing cycle is what you need to do. You need to repair your relationship with your body and the food that you eat. Making that decision starts today. The decision to never look for a quick fix or shortcut again. So my question to you is, will you become aware of your own habits so you can fix them, or will you stay in a state of blissful ignorance? If you continue being blissfully ignorant, you'll continue to have days where you're unstoppable and days where the smallest things will stop you in your tracks. If you start to become aware, you'll start to flatten the curve and become more stable day to day. You'll start figuring out what makes you feel good, and in turn, you'll be more motivated to continue doing what actually makes you feel good. If you stay in blissful ignorance, you'll continue having good intentions, going all in only to be spat back out, overwhelmed, and feeling like a failure again. I'm holding my hand out for you today to lead you down the road of becoming more aware. It's up to you now to take my hand.
Good nutrition, sticking to your good intentions, isn't about what foods are good and what foods are bad. It's got nothing to do with hitting your macros, counting calories, cutting carbs, or cleansing your body. The key to being more consistent with what you and your family eat starts with your environment. There's one rule about food that is often never considered, and that is you will eat whatever's close by. That is, you'll eat what is easy and readily available. The first environment you'll need to master is your home environment. In today's world, the line between treats and staples has well and truly been blurred. We can literally trace back the rise of obesity and poor related health to the rise of the middle class. Put simply, when we were poorer and food was more expensive, we were actually healthier. And now we're relatively well off and food costs have come down. We're unhealthier because we can afford to have ice cream in the freezer, wine on the wine rack, and chocolate stashed away in the cupboard. We eat and drink that stuff more often. Treats that would normally be something you eat once in a blue moon are now food you eat every day. If you remove the proximity of these treats and increase the availability of better staples, you can remain in control of your daily energy intake without having to count a single calorie.
Today's task at the end of this video will be to perform a kitchen makeover at home. You've probably seen these things done in shows like The Biggest Loser. And what you've seen on these shows is exactly what not to do. I don't want you to go in on a rampage and throw everything out because the first thing you'll hear is, "Mom," or "Honey, there's nothing to eat." The key to success here lies in consistency and progress, picking and choosing your battles and slowly taking something away and replacing it with a better choice that is just as tasty. This is why I have my mamas perform this task every 12 weeks, because with accountability to consistently apply this, you will get better at it. To begin with, what I'd like you to do is remove the easiest treats from the houses and replace them with a better choice. An example would be to replace the family dessert with the decadent chalky cheesecake recipe in the recipe cards I give to you today. Make sure after this video you click on the kitchen makeover task, which will take you to my messenger, where I'll guide you through this process. You'll get the recipes at the end of the kitchen makeover. With those recipes, you'll learn how to replace the treats with the staple that tastes great, but are much better for you. That's the most important part. Your lifestyle should be a delicious pleasure. And you should look forward to every meal that you eat and all the foods that you eat. Speaking of chores, if you don't get this next one right, you'll fall into the trap of making this new lifestyle a chore and you just simply won't do it. Whenever a mama starts a health kick, they'll typically get a wind of motivation and try to prep food for the whole entire week. They'll spend hours in the kitchen on a Sunday making food, which you and I both know you're not going to keep that up. When developing habits that last a lifetime, you must start small and with the easiest step first. That creates positive momentum. The easiest step is not starting a brand new food prep habit, but hacking your current food prep habits. Chances are you already spend way too much time in the kitchen. My goal for you is to give you the strategies to become more efficient in the kitchen so you can make more delicious, nutritious food in less time with less fuss. Then you can eventually cut down the time you spend in there and get outside and get active with the kids before dinner. The first step to making this happen is to start cooking more than you need for one meal. Never go into the kitchen to cook a single meal. Utilize the same time to double or triple the recipe, or spend 10 minutes while the food is on the stove to throw ingredients into a slow cooker. Engage the little ones in age-appropriate tasks here. As they get older, they can do more. And don't be afraid to ask hubby to get involved either. This is a team effort in our house, and it will need to be in yours to make it a success as well. The key to this intervention is to make it fun and something to look forward to, a new way to spend time together as a family, a way that empowers everyone in the household with decision and an equal say.
It's when draconian diets turn your good intentions into something that doesn't align with the rest of the family where failure occurs.
No mother will choose her own selfish needs over that of her family's. So the trick is to make this change something the whole family benefits from, not just you. This is why I don't tell my mamas what to eat. I don't give them a meal plan. Instead, I give them a cook bible full of 175 plus fast, delicious and nutritious recipes the whole family can choose from. So tonight, get a start with my sample FitMum recipes. Show them to the rest of the family and ask them what they would like. Shop for the ingredients together and make the time for it. This will take time and effort to begin with, but in time, it gets quicker. I've watched this process happen time and again for my mamas. They start with cooking for more than one meal, then they get more efficient in the kitchen and start cooking for a couple of meals in a row, earning themselves a night off in the kitchen. With accountability, the new routines become habits, then they become rituals like brushing your teeth. It's when they become rituals that you can't live without where the magic happens. That's when you've got yourself a fit mum life.
So go now and take action. Remember, the only way this information will work is if you go ahead and do it. Follow the steps to take action on today's task, and we'll see you tomorrow for FitMum exercise.
Bye.